Hello everyone, welcome to the McDSP YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking about ways to utilize saturation to add character to a source by using the McDSP 6060 Ultimate Module Collection. Let's get into it. The 6060 Ultimate Module Collection contains over 30 unique modules for everything from EQ and compression to distortion and gating. And even more modules are in the works. Today though, we're mainly going to be focusing on the saturation and distortion modules in the 6060. And how to use them to add character to drum reverbs and synth sounds. In front of me, I have a Pro Tools session for a song where I have a snare reverb that sounds good, but it isn't quite popping out of the mix the way I want it to. Let's hear what it sounds like in solo and then in the mix before I've applied any processing with the 6060. To get the snare reverb to pop out a bit more, I'm going to use the split mode on the 6060 to apply some parallel processing to only the mid-range of this reverb. To enable split mode, simply click the I button on any module that is currently loaded. In my case, I'll click the leftmost one because I want both of these modules to be processing the signal in parallel on signal path B, as opposed to signal path A, which is where the main signal is. Now that split mode is enabled, let's talk about how I have these modules set up. First, I have the MEF1 module filtering out the highs above 2.1K and the lows below about 330 Hz. Then, the S671 module is applying quite a bit of saturation to the signal with its saturation and tone knobs. But remember, since we're in split mode and we're filtering out most of the lows and highs, the saturation is only being applied to the mid-range in parallel on signal path B. Now that the plugin is dialed in, we have the raw, unprocessed signal going through signal path A, alongside the distorted mid-range signal, which is running in parallel on signal path B. Although I did go a little bit overboard to make sure you could really hear the difference, you can easily see how much potential this trick has to bring your drum reverbs to a whole new level. Next, let's check out one of the other distortion modules that the 6060 offers, this time on a synth sound. Here's what it sounds like without any processing from the 6060. Let's check out what the D100 module, one of the more aggressive distortion modules within the 6060, can do for us in this case. Here, I have the distortion dialed in very aggressively. The distortion knob is almost all the way up, the tone is up a bit so I can get a bit of brightness that will help this sound cut through the mix, and the low cut is up quite a bit as well, as I don't want very much low end in this sound. Let's hear a before and after with the synth in solo, and then in the context of the mix. Pay attention to the way that the synth settles in with everything else, instead of sounding pokey and out of place. Again, the biggest thing you'll notice in this A/B is that, without the distortion, the synth sounds like it pops out of the mix too much and that it has very little sustain. However, once we turned on the distortion, the synth got much more sustain and stopped popping out too much. You almost can't even tell it's being distorted, it just starts to fit with everything a bit better. That's all we've got for today. We really hope you learned something new. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more McDSP tips and content, and we will see you next time.